So I'm proud of him. I'm not really upset. Even like it was
Terence Crawford couldn't have an error to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favored? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ryan keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
no dropping it.
And Terence Crawford continue to be great, continue to do you.
What happens when a great fighter who used to be unbeatable in the ring, the spotlight, and the money starts to feel the effects of getting older? In a heated exchange with Terence Crawford, Floyd "Money" Mayweather faced the harsh truth of being questioned as a world-renowned champion who had dominated every weight class. He boldly declared, "I'm still the best." The response happened right away. Social media went crazy. This wasn't just another brag. This was the unbeaten giant finally speaking out about the boxer who many people think will become the next big thing in boxing. That's the same Crawford who just beat Canelo Alvarez and shocked the sport to its core. But we need to go back to see why Floyd did what he did so strongly. Floyd Mayweather couldn't be beat for years ago. 50 wins and no losses. Mayweather made defense into an art form, was good at getting rich, and made history.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Then Terence "Bud" Crawford came along. He was just as smart as the others, but he was great for modern boxing. Crawford wasn't trying to make news. He was driven by family history. Everything about boxing changed the instant he beat Canelo Alvarez. Crawford was no longer just another title winner all of a sudden. He turned into a man. Everyone said he could have beat Floyd Mayweather at his best.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Think about this. Canelo fought to opponents who were at the top of their game. Floyd was much better than the younger Canelo. That doesn't make sense. If Crawford had joined him in the ring in 2024, things would have been very different. Bud did more than just win. He was in charge of the fight the whole time. He made his bigger, more famous opponent look like he wasn't even there.
Crawford had the ability to fight backwards and stay composed, good defense, hands was always up, countering everything that Canelo was throwing at him. He was just a little more active fight. Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford.
I think some of what we saw from Canelo is what he's has to resort to now to fight. Maybe he's dealt with some injuries to where he's not as mobile. It's just the pattern that he's put himself in for the last, 6 to 8 fights. That same pattern is why Bivol was able to get him.
He did not allow Canelo to get inside, man. As soon as Canelo would get into that certain range, you would jab him. We didn't see any like lateral moves where he would throw, push off to the side as we used to see Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo was almost smothering his shot because he couldn't stay at range with him. And Terence Crawford runs off counter combinations. It would be a wider margin if they...
Reporters asked Canelo to pick the best fighter from Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford after the fight. Nothing was said slowly or with a pause. Canelo Alvarez answered right away, saying that Terence Crawford was better than Floyd Mayweather.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
People in the boxing community were shocked by that one statement. It wasn't all good things. It felt like a straight attack on Mayweather's reputation. Floyd made a name for himself as a boxer by openly saying that Crawford was the more dangerous opponent. When he says something like this, it changes the conversation in a big way. Canelo's comments caused more than just debate. They asked boxing fans to think again about eras, greatness, and who really stands at the top of the sport's past.
Also, if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had it.
And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he took him, into deep waters. So
What was Canelo? What, 20 something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
How you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you were 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo was saying what he's saying.
But want to
make himself look like he did something.
Floyd's reputation was built on perfection. He had a spotless record with no obvious flaws. And no one else could match his level of skill. Things were going well until a new question came up. What would happen if Crawford really could beat him? What if there was finally a boxer who was smart, skilled, and dangerous enough to beat the greatest of all time?
Terence Crawford couldn't have an error to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favorite? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ryan keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
That's when the change became clear. Floyd's voice began to change. Starting with soft suggestions, it got stronger until it reached strong statements. He hinted in interviews that the fire was still going and said he could go back at any time if he really wanted to. Most fans thought it was just normal Floyd talk with a level of confidence that was almost arrogant. Things changed when the news came out, though. Reports say that Floyd Mayweather did not talk about another fight. He was seriously thinking about making a real comeback to professional boxing, and the news shocked everyone in the sport.
A chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
Let's own it. Let's own it. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
In these talks, Terence Crawford's name kept coming up. This did not happen by chance. Floyd was looking for a message. He wanted to let the fighting world know that there is only one Money Mayweather, no matter what Crawford does, wins, or fights opponent. Floyd thought that position could not be questioned.
Wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior welterweights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Oh, yes. That makes a difference to people.
But Mike Tyson stood in the way before Floyd could really think about sharing a ring with Crawford. Two stars from different times are about to meet. People are already interested in the fight, which will happen as a show in April of next year. Not because of positions or titles, but because when names like Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather are brought up together.
Could have fought any fighter, any era. Who would you have picked that you would have liked to fight the most?
Floyd Mayweather.
I love it. Why?
Huh?
You want to knock him out?
Well, I would love to fight him. I wish he was my weight.
All right, interesting answer.
He's very delusional. He can't listen. If he was anywhere near that realm of great Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself. He can't take his kid to school by himself. And he talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man.
And that fight has nothing to do with titles or records that haven't been broken. It's only driven by pride. Tyson has been very clear about what he thinks. He doesn't like Mayweather. He believes Floyd is cocky and says he dodged really dangerous tests. Tyson has said that he will show him to the whole world.
How do you feel about Floyd, though?
Huh?
How do you feel about Floyd?
Awesome fighter, great fighter. You know, he's a little too into himself. You know, he should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be fucking arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair. Like you was a movie star. You was a hero.
But let's be honest for a second. The idea of Floyd going up against Mike Tyson has already completely turned the boxing world on its head. Fans are ripping it apart, calling it a show, and saying it's not even a real fight. Just another flashy event meant to make money off of famous people instead of real competition.
Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the f is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not going to complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were going to weigh the same. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is going to want to watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money. What? It's happening.
Some people say that Mike Tyson, who hasn't fought in 6 years, shouldn't go back into the ring, especially against Floyd, who is still quick, accurate, and in great shape. Without a doubt, this is a very competitive battle.
It's just shit, isn't it? I mean, like, let's be honest, like, I hate, in a way, and I know people go, oh, you can talk, you fuck. I just hate some things that are happening in boxing. Like, I don't mind if something, you know, like even Jake Paul, I don't mind Jake Paul. I think he's a young guy who's taking boxing seriously. I think he's improving. I think he's doing training camps. But why would you want, how old's Mayweather? 50? You got a, what?
Maybe a little bit.
How old's Floyd Mayweather?
48.
You lot don't even know. You're supposed to be boxing. Yeah, I know, yeah. But all right, 48, 49, whatever. I was going to say, that's old. He's 2 years older than me. Right, what I'm saying is, who wants to watch a 48, 49-year-old Floyd Mayweather fight a 60-year-old Mike Tyson? It's just bullshit. Like, and as much as I love money, I just wouldn't do that. Because I actually, whether you believe me or Pete, you believe me, I love boxing too much. I think it's disgusting. It's just so shit. Like, who wants to watch that? Yet people will watch it, so I understand. But it's just like, I just find it naff.
When Jake Paul met Tyson, he had been harshly criticized in the past. Now Floyd is ready for the same kind of answer. But wait, there's more. Floyd could make a big difference in the story if he fights Tyson the way many people think he will. That victory might be what saves him. A comment that shows he still has the skills. It could even lead to the much-anticipated fight with Terence Crawford.
That fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're going to have fun, we're going to throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to fight Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to give the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be an exciting event.
Because of this, Floyd's latest outburst, in which he went live and said, "I'm still better," really hit home. It was easy to feel the strain in his words. This was not a matter of trust. There was a hint of despair in it. He is not there, but is still seeing the sport change. It is a terrible truth that Crawford has become the new face of boxing for a man whose image was built on being unbeatable. The numbers, on the other hand, don't lie. Crawford's record says a lot. He has never lost and has never been challenged into weight classes. He has played top-level opponents and not only won, but dominated them. Also, he's one of the few fighters who can change stances naturally in the middle of a round.
Somebody that, I can bet the house on is Bud.
Who's the most skilled fighter, Jack?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, He come in the room, or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So skillful, yes, but this and this.
No.
Floyd has said that Crawford's style looks a lot like his. You need to be patient, able to change your mind quickly, and have an amazing ability to watch your opponents and guess what they will do next. There is, however, a big difference. Floyd was right, but he didn't often overpower. On the other hand, Crawford doesn't just win fights. He breaks them down, so there is no doubt in the ring who is in charge.
Start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going up that much.
Now,
everyone wants to know if Crawford is the next big thing after Floyd Mayweather. Floyd thinks that the very thought of that idea is an insult. He expressed it this way: "These guys learned from me. Everything they do, they got from watching me. So how can they be better?"
We've had a lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We even had the conversation go as far as who would win in this fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terrence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
The funny thing about it is Terrence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
gotta pioneer it, right? Yeah, you gotta.
There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere. And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure.
Floyd does not do well here, though. Crawford doesn't want to be like Mayweather. He's not after the same money or attention. He is driven by something much bigger. He wants to leave a memory. He fights not for fame or money, but for his place in history. That's the main difference between them. Floyd always went in the direction of money.
He asked me, why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million, but I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100 million?
Floyd, on the other hand, has to do something he has never done before. Relevance is going away. The media attention that used to be on him is now on growing stars like Crawford, Javon Davis, and even Jake Paul.
You fought both Canelo and Mayweather. You fought them both. Who did you think was better, Canelo or Mayweather? I know that's Canelo was saying it was Crawford better than Mayweather.
I was very impressed with Canelo at 21, but Mayweather was still technically more sound. I think Crawford is better. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. But Mayweather is definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
That's why Floyd's comment, "I'm still better," wasn't just a jab at Crawford. It was a message to the fans, the media, and the next generation, who are all trying to move on. He made it clear that he is still living and won't go away quietly into history.
Looking at Crawford, do you think he's better than Mayweather after his win over Canelo Alvarez?
No, I don't think nobody is better than Mayweather. No. So,
what do you think he needs to do to eclipse the likes of the greats in Mayweather, Ali? Do you think it's possible?
I'm not saying he is a great fighter. He's great in his own right. But to ask me, is he better than Mayweather? I don't think no one is better than Floyd Mayweather. No one. If we talking about fast process, if we talking about speed, if we talking about punch accuracy, if we talking about punch selection, if we talking about poisonous, God forbid we talking about defense. There's not too many that come close. They can't even carry his jock strap. Floyd Mayweather's on another level, and we shouldn't forget that since we haven't seen him in the ring in some time.
Floyd's point of view isn't completely wrong. Mayweather is known as one of the smartest boxers in the history of the sport. His ring IQ is through the roof. A fighter's ring IQ is how well they can make decisions and understand how a fight works. His defense, speed, and control of the ring are unmatched. He didn't depend on his raw power. He beat his opponents in his mind before they even hit him. The stakes are very different for each man if this fight does happen. Floyd doesn't have much to lose. A victory would make him famous. The man who came back at age 50 and beat the pound-for-pound champion. A loss, most people would say it's because of getting older. Crawford, on the other hand, is going to get in a lot more trouble. Even though he won, he might get criticized because he beat a former legend. But a loss could mean the end of everything he has worked for. That's what makes this possible fight so interesting. You need to know more than just hits and titles. Pride, different time periods, and one guy defending his history while another claims the crown are all themes in this story.
Rank now, all time. Ending this interview.
Number one, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford is this generation guy. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight, that's a win for the whole world of boxing. Every generation from Floyd generation to this generation, they get to see it come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on.
But here's the catch. Both titles have already been set, so they don't matter what happens in the future. Floyd has a unique place in history, and Crawford's rise is clear. It's possible that both of them are right in some way. Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer of all time, but Terence Crawford is the best right now.
The Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. Go. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul, Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
That's the end of today's movie. Thanks for reading. If you liked it, please like, follow, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything new. Feel free to write your thoughts in the space below. Please let us know what you think.